Hello, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracey Erickson, and in this video, I'm going to talk about some crystals that I've been using or have used for a very long time. But I want to talk about my favorite crystals that I use on a regular basis, just because I want to share with all of you out there why crystals are so great and why you might use them. So this is a good video just to find out about these following 5 crystals, but it could also just be a good video if you're a crystal beginner and you don't really know much about crystals, because I'll explain to you how I use these 5 crystals in my life regularly. So I am now introducing my new video series that will happen each Tuesday. It's going to be called Tracey's Top 5. So each Tuesday, I will put out a video with my top 5 favorites in a variety of different subjects. But yeah, today's subject will be crystals. This list of my top 5 favorite crystals is in no particular order. And of course, this is my current list of 5 favorites. But, in a year, if I did another top 5 video of crystals, I might have 5 totally different crystals on there. So anyway, this is my current top 5 favorite crystals, and they are in no particular order. So let's just start with number 1, clear quartz. So clear quartz is one of my all-time favorite crystals because it is clear, therefore it can be used for all chakras, but it's also an energy amplifier. So when you put quartz with any other crystal, here's a tumbled quartz. But you can put these with any other crystal just to amplify the other crystal's energy. And quartz also comes in a variety of different shapes and sizes. It just depends on how quickly they were formed. But if you have like crystal points with like the points going off in many different directions, this can actually help you if you have possibly like a multi-layered problem that you're trying to deal with and handle. Or if you want to create some abundance because it's coming from all directions or going into all directions. And then you can use points, like an actual clear quartz point, to direct the energy to the single point of focus. When I make a crystal grid, I do like to use a crystal point to touch on and connect each of the crystals in the grid. Just to kind of activate it, empowering each stone, and to get the grid going. So, and there's also just like little clusters. This is just like a little tiny quartz cluster. But there's a variety of different shapes and sizes, and even though they all have the same power to amplify and empower other stones and to amplify your own energy, if they are different shapes, such as, these clusters of points, for instance, or a wand shape, for instance, or just like a point, they could all kind of help in different ways depending on which tool that you're using. So I really love to use quartz in my day-to-day life just to kind of empower other crystals. So I do that a lot. And once in a while, I will use the quartz crystal on its own because it is also known that a quartz crystal can increase your own biomagnetic field. So it's actually like strengthening your aura. And also quartz are used in technology, and they're just used in so many ways, in clocks and everything. So quartz are actually probably a part of your day-to-day life, and you just don't even know it yet. It's probably in your computer. So anyway, quartz is a very versatile and awesome stone to use. You can use it alone or with other stones, of course, and it is good for each and every one of your chakras. This one is also high on the hardness scale. The Mohs hardness scale, it rates about a 7. So this is safe to put in water. So you can even bathe with the quartz, if you want to infuse your bath water with the power of the stone. Or you can use water when you're cleansing it rather than only using sage or some other product like that. So let's move on to number 2, which is rose quartz. Tracey's top 5 crystal number 2, the rose quartz. This is, if I had to pick one favorite, it might be the rose quartz. I really love this crystal so much. It is, rose quartz helps you to connect with your heart chakra. It helps to heal any emotional blockage that you may have that is kind of holding you back from moving forward after grief. It will also help you to build more self-love for yourself. Rose quartz can bring out unconditional love that is more of a divine type love, the love of God. The more and more that you infuse this with your spirit. So some tips for using rose quartz is, if you're going to use just a stone rather than like a string of beads or something like that, I like to always put 2 of them together because it's all about love. Even if it's self-love, that is, the love between your inner and outer self, or romantic love between you and a partner. Either way, there are 2 parties involved. So I like to put 2 together, and these 2, they're together. So whenever I use rose quartz, I do try to keep them in groups of 2 at least. And so some of the ways that I like to use rose quartz in my day-to-day life to help me to bring out more self-love and just be connected with my heart chakra, I like to place 2 of the tumbled quartz, or not tumbled, but the quartz stones on my nightstand. So, it's kind of infusing my bedroom with that divine love. And it kind of, can also help heal mine and my husband's hearts while we sleep. Even if you don't even know it needs to be done. But another way that I like to use rose quartz would be to put it in my bath water, because this is also rating high enough on the hardness scale that you can put rose quartz in your bath water. So I like to obviously you clear any crystals that you use to, get rid of any negative or unwanted energies. You can use the smoke of sage, Palo Santo. You can use water on this one. There's a variety of ways that you can cleanse it, but be sure that you cleanse it of any previous or unwanted energies before using it. And then be sure to take a moment to really set an intention into your crystal. So after I've cleansed it and set my intention, I simply place the rose quartz into my bath water. And just kind of for a fun, dramatic effect, I sometimes add some rose essence into the bath for the smell. But it's really a very calming and loving stone. And it's great for use with any other stone, but it's really just, I love to use the rose quartz all by itself because it's just so great alone. So let's move on to number 3, which is amethyst. The next stone that we are discussing on my top 5 list is amethyst. So here's an example of a tumbled amethyst. It's purple. And the amethyst is a great stone. This is a good one. It helps there's so many things that people use amethyst for. But one of my favorite uses, I guess you would say, is to kind of connect myself to my inner self. So my inner knowingness. It helps me to tap into my intuition. And if I ever feel like I need to remember a dream for some reason, I literally ask an amethyst to help me before bed. And every time I ask, I remember my dream when I wake up. You just have to trust it. So amethyst comes from the Greek to prevent drunkenness, I think is what no. It comes from the Greek to be intoxicated, and people wore it to prevent drunkenness. So it kind of keeps your consciousness steady in some way, as you might say. Um, so amethyst can help with dream recall. It can help you connect with your intuition. It is good for your higher chakras. It is the color of the crown chakra. So anything that has to do with, spirituality and your inner life can be enhanced by using amethyst. A couple of ways that I use amethyst in my life is this one lives on my nightstand next to my bed. This one is the one that I ask when I want to remember dreams. This one is also a protector of energies. So another great thing about amethyst is if you are sleeping somewhere near like your Wi-Fi router, for instance, you've all heard how that is not good for your body. It's not good for the cells of your body to be around those kind of electromagnetic frequencies. But amethyst actually transmutes those frequencies. So if you have a lot of electromagnetic pollution, then it would be good to always have amethyst around, because that will kind of divert those energies away from you. Sometimes people even put amethyst with their cell phones to prevent the electromagnetic frequencies from affecting them as well. Another great way that I like to use amethyst is sometimes I just carry it around with me and, put it in my bra or in my pocket, and then I have it with me all day. And whenever I do that, I feel like I'm just more connected with my intuition. So it's kind of like turning on the light. Another great way to use amethyst would be just to hold it during meditation, because it is so good with connecting to your inner self. So a great way to do that would just be to hold it in your left receiving hand while you meditate, and just see if you receive any kind of different impressions or different thoughts while you're holding the amethyst compared to maybe just a meditation without it. And you might be surprised what you receive. So yes, amethyst will help you with sleep issues as well. So if you just have trouble sleeping, I think the best use for it, in my opinion, in my experience, is just having it near my bed. I love to have it there. Even if it's a placebo effect, I feel like it does help me with my dream recall. And my sleep is just so much deeper when I have the amethyst. So let's move on to number 4, citrine. Citrine or citrine, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. This is an awesome stone. Now, this one's a little strange. It's a little different. This stone never needs to be cleansed because it does transform energies on its own. So citrine does not hold any negative energy. This has the power of the sun, and what it does is if it does come into contact with negativity, whether it's in your aura or around your environment, then if it comes into your aura, which only when you're actually, carrying this around with you so that it is in your aura. But anyway, any negative energy from you or from the environment that comes into your energy field while you have the citrate is actually transmuted. So you never actually have to cleanse this stone. It's always ready to use, just right off the shelf. Now, the way that I use the citrine, whatever, the way that I use it is I use it more as an energy transformer. So whenever I'm using this, at least currently, I have been using it in conjunction with another stone. Lately, I've been using it with my infinite healer stone. As you can see, that is a mixture of the serpentine. As you can see, it has the green serpentine. But this is an infinite healer stone. It's a very powerful stone, but this one actually brings energy into it and does not transmute that energy. So this may absorb a lot of negativity throughout the day if you're using it, and you have to cleanse it very often. But if you put it with a stone such as the citrine, that will transform that negative energy. So whenever I've been carrying my infinite healer stone, I've been bringing this one with me. So that way I don't have to worry about absorbing too much negativity from my environment or from other people or whatever. Because it will be taken care of by this little powerful stone, the citrine, however you say it. So I do like to use it also on its own. It's a very optimistic stone. It has, like I said, the energy of the sun. So with that being said, though, sometimes I've noticed in my personal use with this stone, if I use this one alone for too long, like for too many days in a row, I start to become fiery. So even though it's an optimistic energy transformer, sometimes it can put a fire in you. And if you're sensitive to that, like in terms of maybe it creating some anger in your thinking or something, then that could be an issue. For me, at least it is. So I try to keep my use of the citrine limited when I'm using it alone, but I love to use it as often as possible with other stones, such as the Infinite Healer Stone, just to transmute any of the negative energy that this stone is going to absorb. So that was citrine, or citrine, Citrine. So let's move on to number 5, which is selenite. Selenite. Selenite comes from the Greek moon goddess Selene, and it means moon-like glow. So just take a look at this. You know what? I already said that rose quartz might be my number 1, but I'm kind of thinking maybe selenite. I literally use this one all the time. Here's a larger selenite wand. This is all natural selenite, but look at that. Wow, they're just so cool. So selenite is actually, this will anchor your light body to the earth energy. This will connect you with the angelic realms. This will keep you grounded, but yet connected to the divine. This is an amazing stone. I use it to cleanse my aura. I pretty much use it every day. If you have a selenite wand like this, you can kind of brush it around your aura, getting rid of any, energies that might have stuck to you throughout the day. I also have some, like a tumbled selenite. This one you can still see that beautiful milky white. It just glows. I also have a selenite tower. I just love selenite. It's beautiful. Look at that. When this hits the sunlight, it's almost like see-through but white at the same time. It's gorgeous. And I also have selenite harmonizers. So one way that I like to use selenite in my day-to-day life is to meditate with these in my hands. And let me tell you, they are powerful. You can feel the energy as soon as you have one in each hand, especially when you go to meditate. As soon as your mind is calm, it is just freeing to hold these harmonizers. One time I was actually meditating while I had a stuffy sinus cold thing going on, and I literally just asked the selenite to cleanse my aura and cleanse my physical body of whatever is blocking me, so that I could breathe freely. Sure enough, it worked. One meditation later, I was feeling completely able to breathe. So I love selenite for personal reasons because I use it all the time. And I just love it. Another way that I like to use my selenite, I use the wand the most, because I like to brush my aura with it before bed, kind of get rid of all that energy gunk off of me before I go to sleep. But also, if I ever have heartburn, I literally lay with this on my chest and abdomen, and it heals it. So it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better energetically as well as physically. It literally gives me physical feeling better, like just by using it. And my husband is a skeptic. He doesn't believe in all this stuff as much as I do. But he suffers from really bad heartburn and indigestion, especially when he's trying to go to sleep. And I remember specifically one time I said it was so severe that when I offered him the selenite wand, he said, well, why not? It's not going to hurt anything. So he held it to his chest and ended up falling asleep. And the next day, he was glad to report that he didn't wake up one more time throughout the entire night, and the indigestion heartburn was completely gone by morning. So he was actually pretty excited to report that back to me, since he always just thinks that I'm crazy cuddling up with my selenite wand at night. So I'm just funny. I don't cuddle with it every night. I only do when I need it. But anyway, that is selenite. There are so many uses for selenite. I just love it so much, but mostly the way that I use it and the way that I love it so much is just for its healing and cleansing properties. This is a great stone to heal and cleanse, connect you to the higher realms, as well as keep you grounded in Mother Earth. All right, so that was number 5. Now, to keep in mind, if you're a beginner in crystals and never really use crystals, be sure that when you go to purchase your first crystal, that you also know how you are going to cleanse the crystal before you use it. Always cleanse your crystal safely, and always then set an intention into the crystal for what you want it to be used for you. Set your intention and then give it attention, and then the crystal will work for you. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my top 5 favorite crystals for the time being. And be sure to tune in next week on Tuesday, and I'll have another top 5 list out for you to watch. So thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.